Hey GCP family, another day of recovery day. So today we're going to need our foam rollers, a lacrosse ball, tennis ball, anything that's kind of a harder ball, and just our body weight from there. Our goal today is to work on some things that will be affecting you at work. So it's pretty much just the idea is you've been sitting at a desk all day, and we're going to kind of reverse that process of sitting at a desk. So we're going to hit 10-minute timer on this one, get started, and work on this. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to start off with our foam roller. All you guys should have these. You get these when you first start with us. So from here, we're going to start in the hip position. So I'm going to take this guy right along here in the hip, lay over top, call this a TFL. I'm going to roll and dig that tissue out. We're going to spend a whole minute in this area. Our goal is to change the foot position. If you watch my foot on the back side here, I can move it straight out, turn it inside. I'm going to hang out in different positions on there, maybe even roll my body over a little bit and dig it out as much as possible. The hips get really, really tight from sitting all day. Sorry, for some reason my camera is adjusting like crazy right now. So probably just because I have horrible lighting in my living room. But from there, we're going to try keep digging on those hips as much as possible. Had about 40 seconds, another 20 seconds on this. If you're like me, you've got some definite tenderness in the hips. I've been sitting at the desk most of the day as well today, working on some projects, social media stuff, and my body really gets tight during that time. All right, let's go ahead and go over to the other side. Same thing in this hip. I'm going to move my foot back and forth. So I'm going to stay with the straight position first. Try and dig out into that hip. So the hip position we're going all the way up to. I'm going to move all the way up into the farthest part of the hip, right before I hit the bone pretty much. I'm going to move right above where the big part of the quad is, all right? It's going to hang out in what we call the hip position there. Back and forth. So I'm going to move that foot inside now. Rotate those muscles a little bit. I'm not quite going all the way over to the IT band, so the IT band is right along here. I'm not trying to get over that far. This side's a lot tighter for me today. Alright, so from there, we're going to go into the adductors. So we're inside of the body here. We're just going to roll over top. We're going to roll on the inside of this leg, back and forth, right? So we want to take it from, I'm not quite getting out to the end of the knee, coming into the groin, back and forth. Now this one's not overly affected by sitting, but while we're down here doing some foam rolling, it's a great area to attack. The groin always a little bit tight, so it's always good to spend about 30 seconds on each side. For me, this is super painful. I don't spend a lot of time rolling out the groin. I do a lot of stretching there, but not as much tissue work. Okay, we'll go over the opposite side. Same thing. On top of that leg, on the inside, rolling out. Change my angle here for you guys. And go over top and back, over top. Try to get as much inside as I can on those hips and back. So if you guys ever need a pretty sweet travel foam roller, this guy is a trigger point therapy one. Nice thing is it has this hole on the inside. It allows me then to take, wrap it around my bag so I can just put my handle through there. It allows me to take for travel. I'm usually not on planes, but in terms of like taking it with me in cars and stuff, it's a lot easier taking to hotels and not lose it. Probably take it traveling on planes as well. I don't normally. Usually a lot of hotels you stay at anymore have foam rollers in the gyms. Okay, from there, we're going to take our wrists, we're going to turn them over. So if you look at my wrist position like this, I turn them over, and we're just going to be rocking forward and back. A little pressure against them. We don't want to put a lot of tension into it, just enough, get a nice little stretch. I'm going to give it 10 to 15 rock backs. Again, this is a great one. I mean, you could do this routine that we're doing today every day, and you probably still wouldn't combat most of what goes on during 8 to 10 hours of seating during a day, but it's a good start, right? Any little bit helps prevent you guys from injury. You know, everybody always blames like kettlebell swings and stuff in the gym on injury. It's not from that. It's from the fact that you sat from 10 to 12 hours a day and you're coming into an activity and you haven't done any of the work that needs to be done to get that tissue broken up. Okay, we're going to take the hands, turn them over the opposite way now. We're going to be leaning forward and back for another 10 reps. Again, just back and forth. We're just looking for pressure to relieve some of that tension in the forearms. When you're sitting typing at a desk all day, those forearms get super tight. So we're trying to relieve that tension. And we want somewhere between 10 to 15 reps, not putting too much pressure against it. Then we're going to take our handy dandy lacrosse ball. You could use a tennis ball for this. I feel like a tennis ball might not be enough pressure. Lacrosse ball, dog toys work as well. Even a golf ball would be a little bit better. Like we use lacrosse balls just because they have a little give to them as well. Golf balls don't have as much give. All we're going to do, take this guy. So if you could actually be working on this while you're at your desk. Take your lacrosse ball, take it on that tissue, and we're just going to roll back here a little bit farther so you can see it. Roll the tissue of the arms out. You can see I'm changing my hand position as I'm going back and forth, working on all forearm muscles. If you got plenty of time, you can go ahead and hang out here a little bit longer. But we're going to just get maybe 10 to 15 rolls on the side, and we're going to try to flip it over. Put a little pressure here, so I'm going to have to get a little tension up. And we're going to move in and out on those forearms as well. You could do this on your foam roller as well, especially if you had a hard foam roller like this. That could be done on your foam roller as well if you're not traveling with the lacrosse ball. This is the nice thing about lacrosse balls is they hit some of those really awkward, tough spots. Okay, we're going to go opposite side, dig into that hand, that arm. You can also roll inside your hand if you want. I'm not going to do that today in today's program, but you can always roll around on the hand too. And we get the opposite side here. Again, I know most of you guys are sitting at a desk pretty much all day, especially during our recovery week, and you guys aren't coming to a workout after this, or you're not supposed to be going to a workout. So when you get home, go ahead and knock one of these out, or go to the last couple of days. I have 2 more days worth of recovery work. It's in the mobility playlist. Go home and do that stuff. Get that work in because we're going to have a hard next 3 months. So you need to get that work in while you can. No excuses, right? All right. And there we have about a minute and a half left. So what we're going to end up doing is, this is a position here. I'm going to use this chair for this. You can do it at your desk if you need. All I'm going to do is that rear foot elevated position. You're going to get nice and tall, so I'm putting a little pressure back that. Tall chest, drive my hips forward. I'm squeezing this glute. Forward and back. The timer up here, I'm going to do 45 seconds per side. I'll tell you when to switch. And you guys can always come back and watch this video later on. It's saved on the Facebook page. Remember, I want to keep that glute squeezed, tall chest, driving through, got a big pull here. Let's go ahead and switch sides. You could use a wall as well on this one. You can use pretty much anything you need for that back foot to put pressure against. If you guys have been in class, you've probably done the rear foot elevated split squat stretch. my favorite by far from opening these hips up. Again, I gotta keep that glute squeezed. Another good thing is to try to breathe through this position, into the nose, now through the mouth. Now we got another 10 seconds. All right, this routine today has worked through lots of different things that affect you at the desk. Spend a little bit of time. The other thing we could do, if you have a little bit more time, you could also get in that thoracic spine with the foam roller rolling out the back. But we're gonna call it a day for today. All right, guys, get your recovery work in.